Apostles, for asking me to do this. I stand before all you brothers very, very humble. I really, really appreciate this chapter a lot, not just because y'all some good bros and y'all some good young bros that's enthusiastic and hungry to help and assist, but this is like my third stop, you know, when it comes to looking for grand chapters, and I'm not knocking on anybody else's chapter, but when I came here and sat down with the bros for one meeting, I think that was the meeting where the bros kind of got into it. And then at the end of that meeting, Brother Johnson stood up and talked to us for a little while and said a prayer, and I was writing the check and my hand was shaking as Brother Johnson was talking, man, because that's how live it is in here. So I implore the brothers to continue that spirit and that enthusiasm. Thank you, brother. Kennedy once asked what you can do for your country.
Yes.
What you can do for your country. But I'm asking, what can you do to strengthen our community?
All right.
Not your community, but our community. Will you be an instrument for change? Because we all visually see things that could use a little tweaking. We all see things that may need a little boost from someone to get it in the right direction. Will you be a pillar of support? Because with the economy the way it is right now, there's a lot of support that's needed. Are you willing to be that pillar to stand strong and hold that up? Will you lift as you climb?
Yes.
Is what I'm asking the brothers. This notion is the foundation of our fraternity's mission.
Right.
And if you want to get deep, it's the foundation of our cardinal principles.
Right.
The question today is, are we living up to these words? Are we lifting as we climb?
Yes.
We memorize poems like Bridge Builder, My Brother's Keeper, the list goes on and on. But are we truly lifting as we climb? Are we helping folks get jobs, critique their resumes, or put them in connection with the right people? I get a slew of emails every day just like everybody else in here, but what do I do with those emails?
All right.
Am I thinking, man, so-and-so's looking for a job. I know this brother can do that and this brother can do that. Or am I reading through it and realizing that it's not a joke or it's not a picture and I'm just moving on? Are we forwarding scholarship information to our youth?
All right.
Those come through from time to time as well, and when they do come through, do you think of a brother that might be able to assist? Every time I get one, the first thing I think about is David. He's working with the youth, and so are a bunch of other brothers in here that's trying to make sure that our youth gets the opportunity to get a scholarship. Are we ignoring those emails, bros? Are we mentoring like we should?
All right.
Everybody in here had a mentor. I asked the question because the numbers aren't showing that we are effective.
Right.
According to the Bureau of Labor Stats, the national unemployment rate is 9.1%. Atlanta's unemployment rate is 9.5%. I understand that we aren't politicians and we can't pass legislation to combat this issue, but we can make a difference one person at a time.
Yes, sir.
And if not, and if enough of us succeed, we can change this percentage, especially in our communities. I want to talk about the kids. I'm very, very passionate about the kids because I was told a long time ago that the kids are the future. The national dropout rate indicates 25% of all students and nearly 50% of African American kids don't graduate.
Say it.
I want to translate that, bros. Nationally, 1.2 million students drop out each year, averaging 7,000 students every school day, or one every 26 seconds.
Say it.
According to a study performed by America's Promise Alliance, 44% of Atlanta students drop out each year. I want to hit a little bit closer to home. In Atlanta, Sandy Springs, Marietta, the metropolitan area, an estimated 31,900 students dropped out last year. And that's according to the Alliance for Excellent Education. I'm not making up these numbers to try to boast it, to make it bigger than it actually is. That's fact. This is very, very disheartening.
All right.
We've always heard the children are our future, but not if these numbers don't change. At this pace, their future will be in Fulton County Jail and Grady Detention Center. And yeah, I said it, I'm not trying to be a basher of our young folks, but their future will be behind bars or dead.
Yes.
I saw a documentary on YouTube from Mario Van Peebles. It was called Bring Your A Game. And if you hadn't seen it, I recommend you pull it up on YouTube or check it out. It's very, very convincing because, as we all know, like Jay-Z likes to say, men lie, women lie, but the numbers don't. Even through law enforcement. Let's talk about crime for a second. Law enforcement is boasting Atlanta's crime rate, they're saying it's down because they're boasting, they're saying it's 40%. There's still, on average, 48,000 crimes committed a year, and of those 48,000, I'm afraid to find out how many of those crimes were committed by juveniles. I pose the question again, are we lifting as we climb? Are we at least trying to change the course of our kids' lives?
All right.
In conclusion, bros, we all have college degrees, or at least the majority of the bros. See a handful of bros that didn't see it through. It's okay. I'm knocking at the bros. And more blessings than we all can count, I'm sure.
All right.
And we all got these stations in life because we were lifted by someone. Someone reached out, grabbed our hands, and helped us to the next level.
Yes.
Just like in Exodus 17:12, when Moses grew tired, Aaron and Hur held his hands up.
Preach.
One on one side and one on the other. And there's a majority of brothers in here that went through something that's called a death march.
Yes, sir.
At that point in time, you're supposed to be holding your own whatever up that you were carrying. But you notice that from time to time, somebody in that chapter that wasn't your LB at the time came by and gave you a little bit of assistance.
Yes, sir.
My brick was heavy, bros. My brick was heavy, and I appreciate the bros for giving me that little bit of assistance. Now, that's what I call giving a helping hand, because it was lifting. It's important that we continue this practice. It's important that we reach back and lift as we climb. And honestly, with the way things are going in Atlanta these days, we need to live more than one. We need to live 2 or 3.
All right.
Let's leave this meeting today with a renewed sense of purpose and a personal mission to hold true to the phrase, lift as we climb. And in doing so, not only will we make a difference in our community, but we'll maybe save someone's life. And I know everybody in here does what they can do. I know everybody in here has family. I know everybody in here has kids, they got jobs. We got things to do when you're tired. There's not enough hours in the day.
Come on.
But if we keep in mind lifting as we climb, and just that one young person that we could assist and grab, that one young person that we can say, hey man, you're going to have a lot of time in your life to party and hang out. You might want to put a little bit more time in studying. You go into class, you paying attention. You got to be in class from 8 o'clock to 3 o'clock. While you're there, I want you to stay quiet while you're in class and get those studies. We're very, very impressionable grown men. We the bros. They look up to us. We the bros. So if we can get their attention to make them say, you know what, instead of BSing in class, just this 2 or 3 seconds, I'm going to pay attention to everywhere and do that outside, the bros can save some lives.
Yes, sir.
Amen.
Rule, bro. Rule.